It's so wonderful to see you again. I hope that you're doing well. My name is Michael Williams. I'd like to tell you a little story about a previous client of mine. And I believe we worked together last year. But the first time she came to me, it was probably a couple of years ago. And she was about to take a trip to Spain to do Spanish language study. And I remember talking with her. She was in college. And her speech was pretty persistent, pretty severe at the time. And I was like, wow, man, yes, we can definitely do some work together. And I was like, she really had a hard time saying her name, and you could see it on her face when she pushed out words. But she had such a positive, confident attitude. She was like, if I'm going to stutter, I'm going to be a confident stutterer. And she was very confident. I mean, she was about to go to Spain and learn Spanish, despite the fact that she had a hard time saying her name and lots of other things. And so she said, yes, I really want to do the coaching, but it might be better for me to wait for a little while. And I was like, fine, okay. So then she got back in touch with me several months later, and she was in Spain during her Spanish lessons, so we talked in Spanish a little bit. And so we started to work together, and we worked together for about 3 to 4 months. And at the end of that time, I could barely ever see her struggle with her speech. Now, obviously, we all struggle sometimes, so yes, she still had struggles. And one of the areas where she still struggled off and on was in introducing herself and saying her name. So this was an area she continued to struggle with somewhat, even at the end of our coaching, which isn't uncommon. Remember, 3 months isn't really a long time, but there was a dramatic difference in where she started, right, pre-Pro 90D, and where she ended up 3 months later. I mean, again, you could barely see that she got stuck, but there were still pockets, these little pockets, especially saying her name, where she still struggled. So she continued to work, which is normal. You have to continue to work because this is a process. It's taking time. It's not magic. She's transforming. She's changing her brain. She's literally changing her brain. That just takes time. There's no shortcuts to doing that. It's just going to take as long as it takes. We've got it down to a science now. We know about how long it takes if you follow the program, right? And so she did, and she continued. And so I just got a WhatsApp chat message from her, because all of our coaching clients, and now even our self-study students, we have a WhatsApp group where we can communicate together. So she wrote me not too long ago, maybe a month or two ago. And she said, thank you so much for all of the work that we did together. And I just wanted to tell you, and when I thought about this, now here's why I'm sharing this with you, because when I was thinking back about her story, I thought she said that she was able to introduce herself, maybe 95% of the time, which is great. I know that she can continue to work and get that up. But actually, when I went back to read it just a few minutes ago, it said 99% of the time. 99% of the time, I can say my name fine. And the 1% isn't where, if she can't say her name, it's just where it doesn't come out as smoothly and easily as the 99% of the time. So that means if she struggles 1% of the time to say her name, she can still say it. That's fantastic. Because before, it might have been 90% of the time or 99% of the time, she struggled to say her name. So now, several months later, she can introduce herself, and she's 99% smooth. Okay. How many of you are watching this video, and maybe you struggle to introduce yourself? Or maybe you struggle when you're under pressure and you have to present something, or you have to explain yourself, or you want to order food or order something. So it could be situations where you struggle socially or professionally or both. How many of you are watching this video and you can identify with this? Well, I know if you're watching this video, you probably can identify with this. You probably do have some struggles. There might be certain words or letters that you struggle with, or certain situations in which you struggle. What I want to tell you, though, is that the Pro 90D speech system works. I am more and more inspired and encouraged by my clients who come back and tell me stories months later and years later, tell me where they're at now and show me where they're at. Many of them have gotten promotions. Many of them have gotten all kinds of compliments and support from people and says, wow, you're an excellent speaker. You know, you should be doing this. You should be. So all kinds of things people report to me long after they're done with the coaching. These are people, and I'm not just talking about one, or I'm not just talking about a handful of people. I'm talking many, many, many people. Now, are there people who can't report that, who don't report that, who don't do well? Well, of course there are. It doesn't matter what program you have, doesn't matter who you are. You're always going to have people who don't do well. And I can tell you, if you follow the process, if you trust the program, if you trust the process and you do the work, you're going to get results. We often discover that it takes us a little longer than we expected, and it's more challenging than we expected. I'm already telling you that that's going to be the case. It's going to take you longer than what you want. It's going to be more challenging than what you want. But so what? That time is going to pass anyway. So if you're watching this video, and if you've been watching my other videos, I want you to think back just 90 days. Just think back 3 months. How was your speech 3 months ago? Think back 6 months. How was it 6 months ago? Have you been trying to do this on your own? Have you been starting and stopping? Have you been seeing results and then all of a sudden you slack off and then you slide back, and then you get back, you watch some videos, do some practice, and then you see results again and then you slack off and then you're back. So it's like this roller coaster and you're up and down. Has that happened to you? Or are you stuck? Have you gotten to a place where you saw some results, then seemingly the results left? You've been trying to figure it out, and you just can't. Well, let me just tell you, for those of you who haven't invested in the self-study, you are going to want to do that now. It's a systematic approach. It's comprehensive. Everything is there. Watching YouTube videos is great, but you need the whole system. So I want to encourage those of you who haven't done that, take advantage of the self-study. We have a special going on where we also added what we call the Smooth Speakers Club, and we'll be launching that officially later, but you can join that now. And this is, you can think of it just like a virtual Toastmasters. It's a time and a place where people from around the world get together and we practice under pressure. You practice under pressure. And that's really the only way that you're going to improve, is to practice under pressure. So I'll tell you more about that in other videos, in other upcoming videos. It's called the Pro 90D Smooth Speakers Club. It is $19.97 per month. That's it, to be a member of this club and to get opportunities to practice and present under pressure. But you have to have the basic course first. If you don't have the basic course, it's not going to be helpful. So you need to get the basic course. So I'm going to put a link in or around this video where you can access that. Second, some of you are professionals and you understand the value of coaching. I've seen people accelerate their progress by as much as 10 times, meaning they've been watching videos and YouTube stuff or even taking the self-study, and when they work with me one-on-one, they find that they accelerate their progress by 10 times, meaning it's taken them 2 years, sometimes 2 years or 3 years or more to get to a certain place. They work with me, and within a matter of months, they are far beyond where they were when they were working on their own for 2 or 3 years. Far beyond, right? Just working with me for a few months. So if you're a professional, you understand the value of investing in yourself, and there is an actual financial return on value. Please watch the video that I did on what's your financial return on investment and investing in yourself. There's an actual financial return that people are seeing. I've seen some people generate incomes that are 25% more than what they were making, 100% more. And lots of people generate 100% more. They double their income, or they get a job making. So these numbers are real, right? They're not made up. But there's also what we call an emotional return on investment. And we'll do another video on that. But this young lady obviously has experienced an emotional return on investment where she can say her name. She feels more confident. She already had She just exuded confidence. So she already had a lot of, now she feels even more confident that she can go into different venues and introduce herself. So this is real, and I wanted to share that story with you and invite those of you who are professional to book a session with me, and let's see if this is a good fit for us to work together one-on-one, right? In our private coaching, we have 3 coaching programs, laser focused, and then we have our other 2 coaching programs where we work together for 30 minutes once a week. The other one is for people whose speech is more severe, and we work together for 60 minutes once a week. Okay, so if you've been sitting around watching videos, great. But if you're still struggling with your speech, what are you going to do about it, right? Are you going to be still struggling 3 months from now? Whereas 3 months from now, you could look and say, oh my goodness, look at my speech. Look at what I'm able to do. 6 months from now, you can look and go, oh, wow. You know, people are telling you, man, you're an excellent speaker. Wow. You know, Susie, your speech is great. I mean, I get people telling me this all the time. Your speech is great. Getting promotions, getting jobs, doing presentations in school, right? Getting standing ovations. I've had people tell me about that too. All this is possible. All this is possible. In fact, it's not just possible, it's probable, right? If you do the work, these kinds of things happen to my clients all the time, all right? So, but you got to do the work. It's not magic. If you're interested, go ahead, get the course, get into our Smooth Speakers Club. If you're a professional and you want to accelerate the process, then book a session with me. Only book the session, though, if you know that you're ready to move forward now. If you're thinking about 6 months from now or 3 months from now, don't book the session now. Wait until you get closer. So book the session if you know this is for you and you're ready to move forward in a relatively short period of time, within the next day, week, few days, you know, whatever. Okay? Once again, my name is Michael Williams. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I know that we can help you get the same kind of results or better than the young lady that I was describing. We'll talk to you soon.